evolution of life on Earth seems to have been profoundly altered by collisions with such bodies.
Asteroids.
Wednesday, 12:15 a.m. vlog073. Going to play some lo-fi. The purpose of these vlogs is to observe the present moment with the idea that in the present moment you have reality, which is endlessly interesting, and this is a meditation on self-awareness and identity. And consciousness, thoughts and memories being as a maze. There's no agenda. It's just 10 minutes of observing and being present, and sometimes there may be something that is important enough to articulate that's happening in the field of awareness and data on the past, the present, and where you are going. As this consciousness is a function of all of those inputs and conceptions in a kind of operation. Operation of a ship going through space, and the ship is your body. The windows are the data inputs, your senses. going through my website right now. It feels fast. Going 2 pages. It's still not where it was before the migration. Now, seducer.com. One really good piece of advice I got is that like your server is kind of like your home, and your website is kind of like your home. It's not really advice, it's more of a metaphor. So it's something you keep coming back to and fixing up. I think it's something, there's some process that can be figured out in terms of the creative process, like getting feedback and finding the right balance between working on something on your own and working on and then showing it to the world and calling it like done, and then putting it on putting it sort of on your shelf, so to speak, and then having a collection of these artifacts that is like your portfolio. And this cycle of heads down like creation, that's like solitary most of the time, where it involves like labor, thinking, decision making, and then the process of saying that it's done, and then showing it to the world and being like, this is something I made. And
you're tense, I'm calm. You apply excessive force. I control that force through fluid motion.
that process is how you grow and progress and kind of move forward on the journey. And it is kind of like left foot, right foot thing where you move forward. Because if you're just in one, just working in solitude, or on the other where you just keep repeating, presenting, or manufacturing the same thing, it is standing still. So that's where the idea of art really is kind of defined. It is the journey, or like the time that's spent in walking through a problem, solving something, or putting things together, kind of brick by brick, and avenue of kind of like turn by turn through a maze. And then the final thing, presentation, does it fly? Does it fit in the world somewhere? And I think that cycle is important to keep in mind as a good gauge of if you're on a good path or not. If you're too on one side or too much on the other side, is a good gauge of testing, litmus test if you're doing something right or not. Going through the pages now. In closing, in summary, I think it's important to have that loop of iteration short, and to have feedback systems like this one, this vlog, in place to look back on as a, so I think of this as a iteration loop of an artist pursuing like insight into the mind and how we can like use the new tools in order to have better self-awareness and self-knowledge. 13 minutes.